Well, you see, in the case of Lahiri Baba, actually I spoke about Lahiri Baba, Kriya Yoga and his tradition with my guru Yogi Ramaiah, and what he told that actually Lahiri Baba was practicing much a greater number of techniques and much more than he gave to his disciples. This is the first huge divine trick, yeah. And when we speak about Lahiri Baba Kriya Yoga, then really speaking, we're not sure what we're speaking about, because he was practicing greater number of technique, let us say, than he really gave to his disciples. And also one more thing, that to the different disciples he gave slightly different kinds of techniques. That's also well, slightly confusing for the next generations, because what actually Yogananda decided to manage to organize, like very good structure, very good, like okay, only like this. And of course, well, we respect Yogananda very much, but we are not part of his tradition. But anyway, those people who are part of his tradition, they have a very good structure. But you know, now even Kriya Yoga practitioners, Kriya Yoga gurus, they sometimes don't know, sometimes don't want to know that actually even this title, Kriya Yoga, was fixed by Yogananda only in 20s and 30s, so that means in 20th century. And in the time of Lahiri Baba, he himself didn't really choose any particular name for his tradition, and sometimes he could call it Kriya Yoga. Yeah, that's true. And this term by itself is from Patanjali Yoga Sutra, so it's a not new one. And but Lahiri Baba sometimes could call this bunch of meditation techniques like Purna Yoga, and sometimes he could call it like Raja Yoga or just meditation, Dhyana. You know, it was not even a fixed name title for the tradition, because as we may imagine, in the time of Lahiri Baba, it was like just he was staying in his house and meeting disciples, you know, after business hours, and it was very much informal communication with the disciples. Was no ashram, no any institution. And by the way, okay, Lahiri Baba was very strict, and he told that okay, no institution around Kriya Yoga, because the moment we create institution, that's complete death for the meditation. And that was position of my guru Yogi Ramaiah. Actually, he created a couple of institutions, but not about Kriya Yoga. In India, it was medical hospital. In the United States, it was some institution, but just for the purpose to purchase piece of land in Arizona and California. It was not like real structure. Yeah.
Did Yogi Ramaiah say anything about other traditions, missions, gurus like Hare Krishna movement, Transcendental Meditation, and Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Osho Rajneesh? Did he say anything?
Well, you know, his approach was just to respect everyone, and that was foundation for him. And he himself personally liked more some of the traditions and less some other traditions. But for him it was never possible to judge or to criticize or to say that somebody is really bad or something like that. And some of okay, quite famous guru he met personally and made a kind of friendship. For example, in the second part of 20th century, okay, whom I may mention, for example, Carlos Castaneda. Yeah, And
Yeah,
yeah.
I read this in your book, and I would like to know, did Yogi Ramaiah say anything about Castaneda's mentor, Don Juan Martus?
Yeah, okay. First of all, okay, I know some details about how they met each other, and I don't want to say that they were close friends, but just they met number of times. And well, what I know from Yogi Ramak, that he told that Carlos Castaneda, he really went to Mexico and met some mystics, but according to his opinion, that actually in his books Castaneda, he gave certain image of his guru, but really it was like 5 or 6 different real personalities behind this Don Juan. And Yogi Rama never told that this is kind of bad or kind of lie, nothing like that, because that was just maybe Castaneda, he decided not to give particular details and address of all that 5 or 6 gurus, and so he decided to put them together. And who knows, maybe that Indian gurus, I mean red Indian gurus, shamans, maybe they choose to be like one personality in his books. And well, anyway, we may like or not Carlos Castaneda, but what is for sure, when you take his books and when you practice all the things which he described, especially about lucid dreams, that's huge. I mean, many people, they really experience a lot of mystical things, and if it is just let us say cheating, that never work. It's just fantasy, never work. If people take these books and they may really practice and get results, so it means it's something behind, some roots are there. And also Yogi Rama met personally Yogi Bhajan. He's a very famous Sikh guru from North India, and actually he spent years and years in the United States, and he created a wonderful and very famous tradition of Kundalini yoga. So also they knew each other personally. Well, for us as the Kriya Yoga practitioners, it's a great privilege to know about Mahavatar Babaji. And not only to know about him, but somehow, at least slightly, to understand his greatness. Of course, I don't think that any of us may really understand his greatness, but at least we have some kind of chance. Because there are many other traditions, and they sometimes even don't know about him, or may know, but don't really not paying attention to the greatness of this divine master. And I think that we may say that directly or indirectly, of course, Mahavatar Babaji is the master of masters. It means, okay, if Buddha was his disciple, Jesus was his disciple, Adi Shankara was his disciple. So it means huge number of traditions which we may attribute to the different great personalities. Finally, okay, but that great personalities, they are like messengers from Mahavatar Babaji. So it means indirectly, for sure, yes. It is also chance that sometimes Castaneda could just read different books about Tibetan and Indian and the Tantric yoga, and he could include this knowledge into his books. And sometimes what's happened, for example, we may go to Mexico and meet different shamans, but really speaking, they know nothing about all this richness of Castaneda tradition. And the question is why? Because some part of these techniques and the philosophy which Castaneda he included into his into the message by Don Juan. Really, it was from Indian and Tibetan tradition. That's also part of the story.